Great Scott.
Oh gosh. Don't start.
What is happening? Great Scott. We're here.
We are doing this.
We're doing this. Totally the first time we're shooting episode 1.
Never done this before.
Never have done a podcast.
No.
Like my own podcast. Have you done a podcast?
I've
on your
never.
own?
No.
No. So welcome. Welcome to Shh, the Kids Are Asleep podcast. Can we get some claps on there? Because I thought that was very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, there it is. Okay. Beautiful.
The kids are asleep.
The Kids Are Asleep podcast. Maui, you're amazing.
Oh god.
We've seen that movie way too many times because
like
of our
5
kids.
times a day. We know like every single line.
Yeah.
Song.
You want to do the rap right now?
No.
Good, because I didn't know it either. So yeah, welcome to the very first podcast of Shh, the Kids Are Asleep.
Podcast. The Kids Are Asleep podcast.
And yeah, we just kind of want to welcome you to our room, our painted walls that don't look at the detail too much. We used the wrong tape because it kind of bled through, but we're gonna fix that. Don't worry about that. We know a guy.
It's to show you that we aren't perfect. See, there's lines that you don't see. Wow, we're getting deeper already. I like that.
You're so cute. Now, how did we come up with the Kids Are Asleep podcast? I'll answer that question. Thanks, Andy, our sound engineer. So I don't know how, but one day I was just like, ooh, like what if it's the Kids Are Asleep podcast? And we thought, oh, that's genius.
The kids are asleep.
The
and
Kids Are Asleep podcast.
That's when we have time for ourselves.
Right. Exactly. Which I'm sure a lot of other parents could relate. But then we started to kind of look into it. Turns out that there's other people that have similar accounts called like the Kids Are Asleep podcast or Hurry, the Kids Are Asleep, or just
the kids are sleeping.
The kids are
But moral of the story is there's other parents that have kids. So it's not like it's unique or anything.
Who knew that other
we
parents?
really thought we had something there.
Yeah.
Like, wow, nobody has this.
So hopefully,
Someone has
hopefully, Shh, the Kids Are Asleep podcast sticks and it works, and you'll find out whatever it says up on the title up here. But look at us. Hey, look at us.
Look at us.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Not me.
Not you.
Not me. We kind of just wanted to do the podcast really to talk about ourselves. There's always been a lot of questions that have popped in on our Instagrams or on the YouTube, and you know how we met is the biggest one. And I feel like we always give you guys the very short answer.
The gist of it. This is how we met. This is plain, short, simple.
Have you guys heard of Instagram?
Long story short.
DM.
Yeah.
Slid. You know? But let's give them all the dirty deets.
The dirty. We're going in.
We are going in. We're going raw.
Oh. Don't say that.
Twins will happen.
Better mess around and have kids.
By the way, if this is your first time watching us, my name is Eric. This is my lovely girlfriend, Vanessa, which you look pretty hot today, baby.
Thank you. I know I do.
Really good.
As you as well. You look
as
good, handsome.
That was a very well-constructed sentence.
You know what I mean.
We have twins, Cruz and Ezekiel, and they are fraternal twins. And since then, we've been trying to just figure out how to sleep better, you know, how to be better parents. I feel like we're always kind of constantly looking to, okay, how can we be better parents every single day? And on this podcast, we kind of want to explore that. We want to talk about that. We want to share things with other families out there that can relate to things, or if you're expecting twins or just a children, hopefully we could be of some help and answer some questions. But for right now, how did we meet? I'll answer that question.
Long story short.
No, how about you give them the kind of the way you found me?
Do you want me to go into full detail, like with the whole?
Oh, we could save that for another. Andy's over here. Don't do it. Not the full detail. No, I know what you're talking about, but that you guys will have to join our Patreon for and extra bonus. But no, let's just kind of get into. I don't know. Like, did you watch like the online content that I make? By the way, if you're words on YouTube, I've made like a lot of comedic videos and I guess you've seen some of them.
Yeah. So did I know who you were before we even met or before we talked to each other? The answer is yes. I wasn't like a full-on fan. Still to this day, I haven't fully seen every single
How
episode
about now?
that you've. No, I'm sorry. I still haven't seen every video that you've made, but I was aware of Troll Adventures. I believe my cousin introduced me to them, and since then I was like watching just you and Sleepy Brown, and it was funny. But you know, it was for me. It was like a phase. I was like, okay, went on with my life. You know,
that's cool.
it just went on with my life, but I always thought he was hot. Like I always thought he was hot. My sisters.
Stop it.
You know how it be.
Okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
My sisters thought, one of your friends was hot, but I always called dibs. It's so fun. Like, Eric's dibs.
Was it Josh?
Maybe.
Josh Leva.
Maybe.
Buff ass Josh, sexy. I'm talking to you, Josh. You're watching this. Okay, but you found.
I thought you were very, very attractive, but
Take that, Josh.
But you look online and you have like your little online little crushes, influencers. Okay. You don't think anything of it, but until one day, I came across your Instagram again. And I was casually going through it, not thinking anything. So, I go down. I'm like, okay, cool. He's still making videos. Wow, good for him. He's still out there. You still had some photos up. But I was like, okay, cool. Good for him. And I was just casually like, I'm on my way to work. I look down at my phone, and it says, Super Ego messaged you, or Super Ego sent you a message, and it's of this smiley face.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And that's how it started.
That's how it started.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said that was the next day that you noticed?
I think it was the same day because I was on my way to work. And before I even went into work, I got the notification. I looked down, and then I went inside and I told my boss, because me and my boss were extremely close. I was like, oh, my God, look who it is. And she's like, what's going on? But that's how it started.
So now with that, I'm going to go ahead and flip it and reverse it.
Okay.
For me, I remember just seeing like a bunch of likes. Like you liked all of my photos.
Okay.
I was like, who is this?
Who's this?
It was maybe one or two, So I was scrolling, and I think I just remember like tapping on your profile and thinking like, oh, she cute. And you had this photo of you in like these shorts, and your legs were so nice, like they are nice. But you were like posing, you were like
I look stupid.
It was like a bellow face, like I don't know. But I was like, man, she looks so cute. So I was like, saying a little smiley face, sent it over your way, and just left it at that. And I feel like we just kind of started going back and forth from that point on, right?
I was at work literally messaging you. Like my boss didn't care at the time. She's like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, you were also kind of like an assistant manager there?
Kind of. I worked at Justice, and so there's like the lead manager, and then there's like other assistant managers there. So I think I was closing that day. But because of her, I was so hesitant actually on messaging you. I was like, I had my thoughts, my opinions, but she was like, go for it, dude. Just like talk to him. What's it gonna hurt you? So because of you, Myra, you know who you are. She actually is the one that told me to reply back to you.
Yeah.
Because I was very hesitant. I was like, should I?
Because you were what? You were thinking, is he a real cholo?
Yeah.
Is he just like really cute in photos, but in person he's like...
Right? No, I'm just... No, I had like my little, just thoughts of public people and their motives and,
So I think what you're trying to say, and what we finally feel like we want to open up to you guys about, is that there is an age gap between us. There's an age difference.
Oh, you said it.
I said it.
You said it.
There is an age gap. And when we first started dating, or whenever I started looking at it like, us hanging out or whatnot, I remember thinking like, oh, okay, like we can hang out, but I didn't think like it's gonna lead to twins.
Yeah.
And us moving in together and me falling crazy in love with you and thinking like you're, the best decision I've ever made in my life.
Everything you've been looking for, I just haven't until, you met me.
So I feel like whenever that happened, I was probably like very like, oh man, this is weird, hanging out with you. And that's not scary, but thinking like you were like super like underage. She was of age.
Yeah, for those asking, I was not underage. We are two consenting adults. So I'm not underage.
We'll say, well,
Yeah.
what's the age gap is the next question. It is 12 years.
12 years. I was going to make a joke and be like 50 years.
50 years.
Benjamin Button style. You're going backwards.
We have a 12-year age gap between us.
It's not that big.
It's not that
It's
bad.
not.
I mean, how is Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde doing it?
Anybody would go with Harry Styles. I mean,
I won't go on Olivia Wilde. I'm living my best Demi Moore life right now. She dated was it Ashton Kutcher? Nope, it's not Ashton Kutcher. Sorry, we're just gonna be sitting here quoting The Office. As you can see, we're a big fan of
not sponsored.
Parks and Recs.
Not sponsored.
So, anyways, yeah, there's an age gap, and it's something that I feel like at the very beginning we don't want to. I don't know, like I've put my life out there. I've done like vlogs or my Instagram, and not knowing like, oh, we're probably gonna break up later, and it's gonna be a little awkward phase. It just seemed like one of those types of things. Like, hey, like I'm inviting you guys into my life. And for a moment, like I kind of just stopped. I stopped all the vlog stuff. I stopped just really going out and posting this stuff because it almost became like to a point where like I couldn't put up what I wanted to put up. People were like very
people felt obligated for you to show them.
They felt
everything.
obligated, kind of like, hey, you owe us this, And I was just like, whoa. So I pulled back a little bit on that. I remember feeling like it felt a little invasive, So whenever me and you started dating at the beginning, I felt like I wanted to keep it a little more just private, trying to, get into another relationship. And we were dating each other, just kind of talking, dating, hanging out. And I remember my first few thoughts was just kind of like, damn, how old are you again? And me thinking like, shit, like she's really dope. And what I ended up figuring out is like, you're like an old soul. There was a lot of your sense of humor that resonated with mine. And I thought, this is crazy. But here's my number. So call me maybe. We didn't have each other's numbers yet. We were just DMing.
We were just on Instagram.
We're on Instagram. So, I mean, what was it like for you?
When you had replied to me or once we started talking?
Once we started talking and noticing like you're talking to an older guy or you're falling for an older guy.
So once...
Did you fall for me?
I did.
Okay. Thank you.
Wink. I can't wink for anything but wink. I think when being with you, you don't see the age. You're not somebody that looks your age. You're somebody that looks younger. And I feel like a lot of people think that, especially like, once you reveal your age, people are like, what? And so for me, being with you, it just felt natural. I felt like I was with somebody who, understood me. We could talk for hours. There was always something new and interesting and fun to do. It wasn't ever like, oh, like, of course, this is how he is. He's older than I am. Or, like, oh, I don't like this because, there's just nothing for us. Like, there's no foundation because our age is just so different. It was never like that.
Like a generational gap. And like, oh, you didn't understand specific references.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we definitely do, right?
So we're very relatable to each other. We understand things. We can have intelligent conversations. It's not just like we can't talk about anything. I mean, we're very alike. Same but different. Same but different. Yeah. So for me, it wasn't a problem. I think the only thing that was in the back of my head was, what is everybody else gonna think? This is getting more serious. How do I break this up to my family, my parents? Like,
you kept it a secret for a while?
I kept it a secret for a while because I wanted to make sure that, okay, this is getting serious. This isn't just like
you start introducing to the family.
Yeah, this isn't just like a, FWB buddy thing. We're not just like casually friends. We're very much interested in each other.
I figured it out. Okay.
Friends with boobs.
Friends with butts. It obviously came to a point where, because once we started to like date and hang out, I was like, damn, she's really, really dope. Like, you were really dope. And I loved all your jokes and your sense of humor. So for me, it felt very, in my mind, right? I was just, I don't really want to like you like that, And I had gotten out of another relationship too. And it's been months that have passed, but I remember thinking just like, okay, are we just going to be like casual, cool, whatever? And one day you just like asked me, you're like, okay, so what is this?
Mm-hmm.
What is this?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whoa, relax.
Also, oh my God.
I was like, also rip my shirt off, fool. So for some reason, like I remember just thinking that way, like, okay, so she seems like she knows what she wants. She seems like everything. She's got like her own, like this strong personality I felt come from you, but at the same time, you're like such a sweetheart, you know. And I remember just you're right. I thought about it, and I was just like, man, I guess we can say we're dating.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're dating. It wasn't like exclusive, like, hey, can you be my girlfriend? But it was like kind of like, hey, we're seeing each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's like kind of like that next little step to before you ask someone to be your girlfriend.
Yeah. So we're not friend zoning. We're officially saying we're into each other. We're acknowledging it and like, hey, you know.
I feel like that was like such a mature thing. Like no one has ever just, oh, so what do we do?
Yeah. Because I think for me, it's like, well, you know, I've had my time wasted with previous, past, you know, people. And so for him, I saw him as like, well, he's a public figure. You know, I look at his content. He has like a bunch of women followers. There's girls that literally will like swoon over him. What is this? I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. Like, please just let me know. Mm-hmm. Because if you want to be buddies, believe me, I'll be buddies with you. But I just want to know. But other than that, like,
oh, friends with benefit. That's what you meant by, okay. now it's coming together.
Right?
The age gap.
Sometimes it's just slow. But I didn't want to waste your time, and I didn't want to waste my time, and I didn't want to get more attached if I knew there was nothing behind it. So just save us both each other's time and effort and emotions and just cut to it. Like, what do you want?
Right. And I'll say this. I've been in past relationships like throughout my 20s where like maybe I was a little like I couldn't say things like that, where I was just like, hey, what is this? What are we? You know? And if it didn't, you know, go anywhere, then I was just like, oh, okay, well, I guess it's not going anywhere. So I don't know, like, I felt like whenever you did that, it really kind of like snapped me into like, damn, why have I never done that? You know? So from that point on, like I took you very like serious. I was just kind of like, oh, damn, she's funny, she's great. You know, all this like, but is it like, are we going to date? And you're like, what's up? What is this? Mm-hmm. I remember this one time where we've been talking maybe like, what was it? A couple months or 6? No, it's been like,
it was like 4. 3, 4.
Maybe like 3 months. Like we're kind of just dating, talking. Your parents don't really know. I think I kind of explained a little bit to like my mom, everything. Did your parents know?
I believe they knew.
Like they figured it out, right? Like they were just kind of like, huh, what's going on? Like you're hanging out a lot, or you're staying out late. With, so anyways, I remember thinking like, I have no problem like meeting your parents, and you were very like hesitant, like kind of, not right now. So anyways, I decide to go pick you up. You hop in my car. You know, your parents aren't out or whatever. We go and have breakfast out in your area, and I drop you off. I remember like, bye. And you send me this text. I remember getting a text like, my dad came down. I guess he saw me, you know. I guess he saw you leave or something. And he said something along the lines of like, wow, he can't even like come in and face me. Mm-hmm. Or like say something like, what's going on?
And they knew of his age. So at this point, they know who he is. They've never met him. But they're aware that there is an age gap. They're aware that he is older. Mm-hmm. And I believe of what you do online. So, of course, as a parent's perspective, they're like, who is this guy? What are his intentions? Yeah. I don't like the looks of it. I don't like the sounds of it. He's with my daughter. You know, so as a father perspective, he's just trying to figure out, where's my safety of my daughter going if she's with this man. He comes over, picks her up, and drops her off without even saying a word. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to tell him that we were
and
both.
He didn't know that like I would be totally down to just go and talk, right?
Yeah, so he didn't know that. I wasn't ready for it because I felt like it needed more time. Mm-hmm. And because you came to me many times, like, you know, let me talk to your parents so they know, like, you're safe, you're fine, you're okay. Yeah. But I wasn't okay with it yet because I was battling it with. I was
thinking like a parent, like, hey, listen.
Yeah, you're like, listen, this is where the age gap comes in. Like, I need to talk to your dad. Yeah. And I'm like, wait one moment. So my dad, he wanted to meet you. Yeah. And and my dad's very big on respect. Right. Very, very big.
So I wasn't afraid. Like I was looking at myself like, okay, I'm a grown ass adult. Like I can go and talk to somebody. So I remember the text you sent me, right? I'm heading out and you're like, my dad was kind of like, wow, he can't even come in and face me And I was like, yo, I'm turning back around. And I don't even think you had enough time to even text back and be like, no, this is a bad idea. Don't do it.
And then I go back upstairs. And then the next thing I know, there's a knock at the door.
And tune in for next episode where we talk about that knock on the door. And it's starting right now. So I remember turning around and thinking like I was saying, like, I'm a grown-ass man. I can go and talk to your dad. I didn't realize how intimidating your dad looked.
That's pretty intimidating.
You know, he answers the door and he's just kind of, he opens it and your dad's face is this.
6 foot tall.
Yeah, he's like 6. I think he's like 6'1". He's got the gold tee, and good looking guy, but intimidating. So, he answers the door, and I think it was funny because you were like right behind him in the stairs, like.
I was completely shocked. I'm like literally about to just like shit my pants. I'm like, is this happening right now? I thought he was leaving. I probably should have never just texted him. But next thing you know, you're at the door. My dad's right there, and it's like the father, and then the boyfriend. I'm just like, not the boyfriend yet, but like future. Yeah. I'm just like.
So I just remember like knocking on the door, looking at your dad, being like, "Sir, my name's Eric. I started talking to your daughter. We started hanging out a few times. And I really like her. It's not like we're together, but like I want you to know and you guys to be aware that she's dating a 32-year-old. She's talking to a 32-year-old and I think she's great. I feel like she's got like a lot in common with me and I don't want to feel like I'm hiding or like you don't know what I look like or if you see that she's out, like I want you to be able to see my face. And then he looked at me and goes, all right, come on in. Let's talk. And then I remember just kind of walking in, passing by you, and I think you were holding your little nephew, Eli. And you were just like, and so me and your dad just had a conversation. Yeah. We had a conversation, and I told him, I was just like, yeah, like I understand there's an age gap. And believe me, it's not like I was looking to get myself, a young girl that at the time you were 19. Going to 20. Yeah. And believe me, like I remember just thinking like, what am I doing? Like, what is going on right now?
I literally just came back and I'm talking to her father right now.
Yeah. So that's whenever I started to notice like, wow, what is this, like a movie? Is this like, is this like music where they talk about that kind of stuff where it's just like, age is just a number. Age is just a number. And, if you're in love, you're in love. When
it came to that, I let you be with my dad alone. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be like, the background, like hype man. Like, yeah, I was like, I'm going to let him have his alone time with my dad, let each other, meet each other formally. And after that, we'll see where it goes. How long were you there for? I forgot.
I was there for a good hour.
Really?
I think, yeah, I was there just talking to your dad for a good hour. And we were just, we were just kind of opening up about everything. And, I think I even explained, I was just like, like, I do remember getting nervous. I'm like, I mean, my mom is older than her husband, like, and just kind of going back to that, like, it reminds me, like the conversation ended well. Your dad was like, well, look, I'm glad that you came in and I got to see who you are. You faced me and I really appreciate that. And, you're more than welcome to come in and we can just slowly get to know you and see where this goes between you and my daughter. And I remember him looking at me and being like, I love my daughter very, very much, and he was like, that's my little girl, so take care of her.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he's like, all right.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, get the fuck out. And after that, it was really cool. Like I was just kind of invited to things and I was slowly starting to meet your family and little by little, everybody else that knew my age, like was slowly like, I got to meet this guy. I got to meet it. And I think next was like your Nina.
Yeah. So I think word would get around. And I remember having a conversation with my godmother and she was like, so what's happening over here? So you're dating an older man, Vanessa? And I was like, yeah, he's this old. And she was like, how old? And I was like, yeah, he's 32. And she goes, "Oh, that you're fine. Honestly, you're fine. I thought you meant like 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds. She's thinking old as fuck." And she's like, "You're 32? No, that's just a 12-year age gap. I think she's older than my godfather."
So her husband, right? So there's an age gap between them.
Yeah, there's
too.
an age gap between them.
So
She's
she
like,
gets it.
yeah, she's like, "You're fine." She goes, "If anything, good for you." She's like, "Good for you." I was like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
You know, but yeah.
But I remember meeting her, and once I finally met her, I there was like a face of relief, and I wasn't sure if this was a Thea, but after she made that face, I knew it was her, right? She was just like, "Who are you?" Because I guess she saw me like kind of walk back and forth. It was like a family party. There was a lot of people there, and she goes, "I'm like, oh hi, by the way, I'm Eric. I believe you're Maria. Nice to meet you." And she goes, "Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, you look young." And she's like, "Oh, he looks young, Mika." And they think like, she was just, "Oh, he's fine."
Yeah.
I was
You
like,
don't look your age. You don't. So it's like,
frown, don't frown, baby.
That's a good one. Well, I mean, some people.
Some do. No, I could think, I can think my my puberty hasn't really hit for me. So you can see my. You want to just zoom in on that, Andy? Like a crop in. Yeah. Okay. That's too close. Get back.
I think you look amazing.
Thanks, babe.
Never shave it.
Never shave my dirt.
Never shave it.
She has such a thing. Like I kind of want to shave it to see if it comes back a little thicker.
I'm against it.
She's like, "Nah," but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for a TikTok.
Yeah, but that's how my families reacted. My sisters were slowly warming up to him. My sister Evelyn, she was like, "Hey," well, she's very out there, but they were fine. My family was cool after a while. My mom finally met you.
Yeah.
My mom didn't meet you the first day that you met my dad. She was out somewhere.
No, that's right. But I remember meeting your mom, your dad, and your dad in a different circumstance, right? Because like the second time I met your dad, completely different person, right? The first time I was just kind of standing there and just like staring at me. I swear, your dad did not blink when I was talking. He was just looking into my soul. And but the second time he's like, "Hey, what's up, man? Hey, come on in. You hungry, blah blah?" And I was like, "Hey,
yeah,
yeah, I'll take a hot dog." And then I met your mom, and your mom is really cool. A lot of energy, super fun. And it was like seeing them together where I slowly started to piece, and I'm like, this is why you're fucking awesome. Like, this is why you're so dope. You have cool ass parents, And they're very like cultured, and after all that, like, and your taste in music and your sense of humor, like the reason why me and you clicked, I feel like, oh man, you got it a lot from like your older sisters and your family. Like all you guys are just very cool.
But yeah, my family's very big on just like, we're all about family. We love to have fun. We love to have like Sunday hangouts, barbecue, cooking, family nights. Poker night is huge in our family. So once you were in, it's like, hey, welcome in. This is our family. Bring your chips. Bring, money. We're playing poker. And after that, it was
I
like
brought
smooth
Doritos
sales.
like an idiot.
Stupid. But now I could flip it on you. How was it with your family once you broke it to them that you were dating somebody younger?
Yeah. And that's a very good question. And I'll answer your question with the question.
You can't think of a question with the question.
That's a very good question. Thank you for asking. Nessa Smalls. Her last name isn't Smalls, by the way.
They don't know that.
They don't know that. So for my family, I remember my mom was very much like, oh, because I told her, I was like, Mom, how would you feel if I told you that I was talking to someone that was younger than me? And my mom, I remember, I think she was like making coffee or something. She was just clink, 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 clink. How young? I was like, 19? So I just remember her going, mijo. I'm like, hey, your man's younger than you. You can't say. And then grandpa and grandma, my abuelos, they were 12 years apart. Hey. They really were. So I guess my mom kind of came at a point where like, I mean, just see where it goes. If you start feeling like, the feelings are strong and you guys connect well, then yeah, I want to meet her. I was like, okay. So that was my mom. My mom was kind of very like cool about it. My sister, as you know, my sister, was a little off about it. So I ended up telling her, I was just like, oh, so I'm kind of talking to someone. And she goes, really? Oh, cool. Oh, what's her name? You know, tell me about her. Like, just tell me she's not like super young or anything. I'm like,
And you only have one sister and she's younger. You have a younger sister.
She's my younger sister.
So.
Yeah. So, I remember just her reaction being kind of like, I told her and she was like, Eric. She's like, well, she better be cool. And, after they finally met you, I remember, Kesey, Crystalline, like she really loved you. She was like, oh, I like her. She's really, really cool. Same with my mom. She's really sweet. And that was it. Like that was the initial process of that.
But that's not to say that we've heard comments. We've had, stuff heard about us, like my age-wise. And, we do know that people will give their opinions, give off their judgmental thoughts.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just as soon as like anybody, and we've gone through all of it, right? We've gone through all of it in our heads, like what people have said or what people can say and
what people think, how they view age gaps. We've heard it and
It's like, wait a minute, so when you were in high school, she wasn't there's that whole entire thing you can play and
you could totally it can come off as perspectives, how you want to see it, which a lot of people view age gap as like this whole entire judgmental thing where it's like it's something bad to be in or it's something bad to think about.
Yeah. But fuck them.
Honestly, we really don't care at this point. We've never really cared.
We haven't. It's just as far as going out and like officially like coming out and thinking like, oh, we have a podcast now and just like, let's just open up about it at once. Yeah, because it's just about true love, passion, connectingness. I had no idea that when I was in graduating middle school that my dream girl was just being born.
Yeah, honestly. You didn't know it. You didn't know it then.
I didn't know it then.
But I knew coming out of my mother, I was like, I have a purpose. And when I'm 19, I'm going to meet that purpose. No, but really, though, we really don't care about our age gap. This is something that, we make each other happy. There's many things deeper than what you guys see surface-wise.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But I wonder how many other people, like, I feel maybe even watching this, have gone through the same thing, or have that type of age gap with their significant other or are married now. And they're like, oh, we've been married forever. And I'm 49 and my husband is 62. That might be us. I can't do math. I don't know why I was pretending.
No, but once we've talked to other people, we do meet other couples that do have an age gap. And then you start to find like your own community within yourselves because it is normal to be in an age gap, whether it's like 5 years, 10 years, 12 years. Sometimes it can go as deep as like 20 years. But for us, it's 12. Sorry, it's 12
but we cut
years.
it off at 21.
We cut it off. Yeah. If you were 13 years with me, no. I'm sorry. That's where I cut it off. 13 years.
Yeah. We just kind of wanted to open up about that, finally talk about it.
And it feels good.
I've never, what?
If I said it feels good. It feels good to finally talk about it,
There's also been another reason why I'm not really open about my age. Yeah. It's because like I'm an actor, I've gone and done like auditions and stuff like that where it's like, you really don't want, as an actor, you don't really go up and talk about your age because you play different roles. And if people think you look like a 25-year-old, then like, cool, then I'm going to go read for this 25-year-old. But if you're sitting there kind of flaunting more and more about like your age, people are like, oh, that guy, the 30-something-year-old, he's playing a high schooler. So it kind of just ruins that image. So I've never really opened up about that. So like now kind of just saying like comfortably, like I'm 35. See how comfortable I sounded? I'm 35. You can Google it. I mean, it's already been up there.
Right?
Oh, hit us with it right now.
Is he?
Oh. You go to the claps again?
They're like, boo.
Crowd cheering. Woo. So just at the end of the day,
yeah.
It's our relationship. We're in love. You're the best decision I've ever made in my life, and I'm very happy to be with you and have twins with you. And I think as long as we're happy, it shouldn't stop us from continuing to be that. Mm-hmm. And the same for anybody out there. You know, if you guys are in love, love is love, and you move forward happy. Andy, I think you had a question. Andy's our sound engineer and editor.
Yeah, so just a quick random question. Because
why'd your voice change, dude?
I know it.
Yes.
No, even on here, it sounds way different. Your guys' mics is way better than mine. So because you're an influencer, and she was younger than you, was there ever that question like, oh, she's just with you for the fame, the money?
Yeah, I think people probably did ask that.
Yes.
Do you wanna?
Yeah. So a lot of people view age gaps as it being illegitimate, meaning that somebody is being exploited or somebody is in it merely because it's transactional, that they're in it for money, they're in it because they're getting something out of it. For me, I'm never interested in like what obviously I'm supportive of what he does, but I
don't give a shit about what he does. I don't find him funny. His shit's whack. All those jealous boyfriends, they suck.
No, but right. I've never seen one, by the way.
Get into that later.
I've never seen one of those. Never cared to. But I am fully supportive of what he does online. I know that is his world, but I am also respectful. I've never looked at him as like me trying to move my way up, me trying to get something out of him. I've never had a moment where it's like, oh, well, if we break up, at least I have all of his like, followers and his likes and his supporters so they can follow me on my side. It's like, no, I am in this relationship because I see you as Eric. I don't see you as super ego. I don't see you as like, what you show online. I'm with you because the person that I met is genuinely somebody that I'm in love with. I want to be with. I want to like spend my time with. And so, but I do see how it can come off like she's young. She's in it because you can provide for her. She's in it because you can give her something. And, and I guess that can go into like, some people think that, if somebody younger is dating somebody older, it's because they're seeking like a caregiver or somebody that they lacked in their childhood. And it's like, I do not have daddy issues. I do not have any parent issues.
Relationship is great with your dad.
I honestly, talking to Eric, I did come to like a final kind of like realization that I do like older men. And I feel like, that's not something to be ashamed of. I do like older men. And when I started talking to you, I was like, yeah, you know what? I can get along with you. Me and you have like the same maturity levels. Me and you can have intellectual conversations, and whatever you do online, that is you, that it's your career. I'm going to respect you, but I'm not getting anything out of it.
Thanks, fool.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I've never felt that from you. I don't think whenever we first started talking or dating, it never was like
like I'm using,
like, yeah, let me test her out, or let me, you were pretty just calm about everything. You didn't seem like, can you do your cholo voice? You didn't do anything weird.
You would do that yourself.
But that was just my voice. Like sometimes it'll go to rasp, and it'll kind of come off like my cholito voice. But there was also like there was just like a lot of moments where I felt you were very just genuine, and you were very curious as to what we were, and I felt like you maybe just liked me, and that's what I felt like at the beginning. Like now I know you're crazy and in love with me.
I am.
And I think another thing was like going out in public, and like people coming up and taking photos or like saying what's up and saying hi, and I think like that for you was confusing, right? Because like our first date was at Knott's Berry Farm. Mm-hmm. We talked about like going to Knott's Berry Farm on our first date.
On our first
We're like,
date.
just let's just go for it, and we went, and it was an amazing time. But people would come up and like, oh, is that you? Hey, I think I know you, and so. I felt a little bad because sometimes like you would kind of be pushed off to the side, like kind of just waiting. But other than that, like I felt like you kind of handled that really cool, and you're like, okay, so like, are you popular or something?
So who are you again?
Right.
What do you do?
What do you do?
You make videos?
You make like little videos, like little cute. Are you on TikTok?
Like neighborhood videos?
TikTok wasn't a thing yet.
Are you like Lil Rob or something?
Yeah. Are you like like Lil Moco? Are you
like, oh, right.
Are you like
oh, so you're like Sleepy Brown.
Sleepy Brown or Iga.
Yeah, right? Yeah, but I mean, I can totally see how people can view this relationship as that. And we've seen comments where like, "Oh, I give it a year. Oh, I give it, like watch once they break up, she's going to go do her own thing or, they're not going to last because she's, some people have glued together."
Can I say this? I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry you had to go through that. Like, you have no idea, like, that alone is like, you didn't have to go through that. And I feel like I came with that. I feel like because of like the YouTube comments or like putting you in like videos or like after, months of us talking, I was like, I'm finally going to do like a meet my girlfriend thing. And I feel like a lot of the comments were just like comparing you to like past relationships and everyone's just kind of like, and in my head, I'm like, like nobody gets it. Like nobody knows her the way I do.
Mm-hmm. Nobody's willing to even give me a chance because they're so comfortable with what you were already with.
Right.
Then you bring somebody new in that they don't know much about, let alone her age. Mm-hmm. So that's also another reason why we didn't tell our age difference, because at first we had to get over this slope of just them being introduced to me. And that alone, I got so much stuff about. Yeah. I got like hate, I got comparisons, I got like even previous exes were coming up. And it's like, so that we had to get over. So, and we didn't want to be like, hey, this is me. Also, she's younger. I can't imagine people knowing the full information in detail and then having to go through that in the very beginning of us talking. And, now we're like, 3 years in and we have kids and people support us regardless.
Yeah.
And that's what's 100%. Amazing.
And I think moving forward is like, if they F with us, they F with us.
If they don't, then they're fake.
They're fake.
They're not true Super Ego fans.
Yeah. So yeah, again, I don't know. I just want to say I'm sorry. Like I came with that, but I'm happy that you went through it, and now I'm really happy.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like being with you, people can say that, oh, well, there's a huge generational gap. There's a huge age gap. You guys have nothing to talk about. What do you have to offer each other? But, I do understand that he is more experienced in life. You are more experienced. And I think the balance between us is like, we're very communicative. We're very open with each other. You take more of like the big future decisions, but you will always let me in. You'll always let me know like what's going on, if you're making any type of like decisions for us, our family. But regardless,
I feel like our roles are very equal.
Yeah, we're very balanced out, But I feel like regardless,
but we have our separate roles too.
Yeah, you've taught me so much as well, and that's just because you have more experience. Mm-hmm. And I know that I haven't experienced life, as like a usual somebody in their 20s. Like I haven't experienced the usual 20s, But I never really cared for all of that. I always knew that I want to be a young mom. I wanted to settle down, younger, and finding you, falling in love with you, us being on like the same exact path and page. It just all fit together perfectly. Mm-hmm. And then also like I can experience life with you still. If we want to travel, we can travel, especially with our kids. If you want to, if I want to do something, I could do it with you. We can always experience life together. It doesn't have to be like, oh, well, because you hit your milestones at a certain age, then I have to at that same age. It's like people are different. People hit their milestones. And I feel like we're same, but different,
Same, but different.
That's why our age gap doesn't matter to us.
Yeah. And I feel like there's a lot that you've taught me like about myself, actually, things that like I've corrected about myself, or like say, anger issues and stuff we can get into in other episodes, but like, just things that I've really checked on myself and things that you've pointed out. And I feel like not too many of the people have told me, and, you make me want to be a better man. Stole that from As Good As It Gets, but doesn't make it not true.
It's still romantic.
So at the end of the day, we're happy to kind of just share this with you guys and not keep it this secret.
Yeah.
We're in love. We're very happy, and we're happy with our family, our 2 kids. Thank you, by the way, for carrying those 2 like that. That's crazy. You carried those.
I did.
You did that.
I'm amazing.
So yeah, next time you guys are worried about the opinions that someone is, drowning you with, fuck them.
Yeah, honestly, if it's getting in the way of your happiness, then it's not worth it.
Get it out. This podcast is turning into the Kids Are Awake podcast. Our notifications are going off on our phone that they're up. So thanks for joining us. We appreciate you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you subscribe and stay tuned for smaller clips of everything and watching the full episode, which you can do here. But other than that, cheers to you guys. Cheers to you, baby. And cheers to this gap.
Right.
Between my teeth. I need to get this.
We
fixed.
both have gaps between our teeth.
Do we?
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
It's just, it
just makes sense. Okay. Okay, love you. Bye.
Get out.
Get out. All right.